Today I'm going to make some sourdough sandwich bread, and because I've got this shiny new gadget, I'm going to use this shiny new gadget. Because it's sourdough, it needs a long ferment, and this will only ferment up to 2 hours. It's not really made for sourdough, but I'm going to use it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the sourdough like a 2-hour head start by using the bulk ferment function of this machine, and then I'll ferment the other 8 hours still in the bowl here. I'll just let them be at room temperature because it's a nice temperature in here for fermenting. So we're going to start with 100 grams of starter. Make sure that I reset my scale. Oh, look at that. And 255 grams of water. Perfect. And 1,000 here. 60 grams of oil, and because it's sourdough, I'm going to go ahead and use olive oil. The olive oil is going to help with the crust so that it is not super hard and will be better suited for sandwich bread. 60. And 1,000 today. 12 grams of sugar. And then 500 grams of bread flour. I never get it all perfect. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and mix this for 10 minutes. So, I'm going to turn on my mix feature. The default on the machine is 8 minutes. I'm going to pump it up to 10, and we're going to tell it to go. It's looking good already. Put the lid on to see if it makes a difference in noise. It doesn't really. It's not very loud. It seems like it's loud probably because of the proximity of the mic in videos, but by and large, it's kind of quiet. Okay, so now I'm going to start a 2-hour, which is the max bulk fermentation, and then I'll leave it in the bowl and let the rest of the fermentation just go on room temperature. But I'm just going to give it a little boost using the ferment function of the mixer itself. If I had my brain on, I would have remembered to set it up so that it would automatically mix for 10 minutes and then automatically start the ferment function. I just didn't think about it, and I'm still getting used to this machine, so live and learn. So next time. The default is 40 minutes, so I'm going to bump it all the way up to the max. Two hours. And go. Put the lid on. Make it nice and snug and happy. And we'll see you back here in 10 hours. Okay, we're back, and I messed this up like 4 different ways, but it still actually looks pretty good. So I completely forgot that I was making bread, and so after my 10-hour bulk fermentation in the machine here, I was not prepared to film. I was in a bathrobe, so I could not make a video of me taking the dough out and going ahead and rolling it and putting it in my loaf pan. I decided to use a Pullman loaf pan for this because it is sandwich bread. So I put it in the Pullman pan and I stuck it in the fridge and I went back to bed. So that was the first
mess up, is completely misjudging my time. I'm doing it again. I would do the bulk fermentation overnight, which is what I should have done in the first place. Actually worked really well doing it in here after the mix and putting it on the 2 hours of bulk ferment, using the heat of the pad here. And it's a subtle heat. It's not like crazy warm or anything. It's just a nice constant temperature. After the 10 hours, it looked great. I wish I had at least, and that was another way I messed up, I should have at least filmed, if not myself in a bathrobe, I should have filmed how the dough had expanded, but I didn't. I pulled it out, I rolled it up, put it in the pan, put the pan in the fridge. I covered the pan, put the pan in the fridge. I didn't cover it with the Pullman lid, I just covered it with plastic. And then this morning, I took the loaf pan and dough out of the refrigerator, let it come up and do about a 4-hour additional rise here in the Pullman pan. And that's another place that I messed up, is the Pullman pan I should have let it rise to about 80% in the Pullman pan. I let it over rise a little bit in the Pullman pan. So when I went to go slide the lid on, you can see I caught just a tip of the dough there, and it ruined it doesn't look bad, but you can see that when I slid the lid on, it caught the dough just a little bit because it had risen so much, and it sort of wrinkled it there. But nothing I can really complain about. It looks fine. So the next way that I messed up is that I got caught up in using the Pullman pan. So the instructions for the bread recipe were to bake at 350. And I got caught up in using the Pullman pan, and the fact that this Pullman pan has like a temperature limit, and I set the oven at 450. So I baked at a much higher temperature than I was intending to for this sandwich loaf, and we're going to see how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and slice into it now. Okay, look at that. That's nice. Yeah, I don't have any complaints about that. Maybe a little dense, but it is sandwich bread after all, so I don't want it to be chock full of holes. Ah, it smells so good. So using the bulk ferment in the mixer worked really well, and yeah, I've got no complaints here. I gave it the first 2 hours on bulk ferment because that was the max that you could set the timer for. I could probably have just kept resetting it, but I figured I'd give it the 2-hour boost and then just let it go the extra 8 hours all by its onesie, and that seemed to have worked out just fine. So don't make all the mistakes that I made, and I am going to go make a sandwich. So I hope this helps.